What's going on, everybody? You're listening to the S3. I am JD. She, the lovely Lady M. Lady M, what is going on with you today?
Not much. It's kind of being a hump day.
Yeah?
eh,
Yeah. I
yeah.
uh
Low energy,
I
middle
was
of the
running
week.
late. Yeah, I spent way too much time in the hair and makeup trailer today. And yeah. They're like, you gotta get to the studio. And I'm like, I don't look well. I never look well. All right. Anyway, today we got a lot to talk about. So we changed things up. We changed
Yep.
things up. We changed the logo. We're no longer just doing a football show. We're no longer just doing a basketball show. We talk a little bit of everything, but we definitely hit the hot points. The S3 podcast mostly. So you'll hear football talk, you'll hear basketball talk, you'll hear baseball, you'll hear proper English, you'll hear NASCAR. So on the other hand, you might not hear proper English. Uh,
Anything
but
else that catches our eye at some point, yeah.
Right?
We want all the things.
Absolutely. Um, so today again we're gonna touch on some spring training, give you an idea of who's playing where, just in case you're in the Florida area or you're out here in the Valley of the Sun. It is beautiful, sunny today. It's actually like really, really nice today. So we're definitely gonna have to take that walk this afternoon
Yeah.
before din. So yeah, let's knock that out. But you can always listen to all of our podcasts on either the Heroes Media Group Network, heroesmediagroup.com, or you can go to Spotify and check us out there, or you can help us boost our website rankings and send us some traffic to coachjeffdemers.com.
Yeah, that would be the best one.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Just saying.
That's the best one because that's the one that we make the money on. So we love HMG, love supporting them. But yeah, we're trying to make money here, people. All right. What is first?
Headlines with dad jokes.
Headlines with dad jokes. You were about to say horrible dad jokes, weren't you?
I almost threw it in there, even though you didn't include it in the script, but I decided to behave.
Dad jokes are awesome.
They're the best. I love them.
Everybody except for the girl working at a store in Scottsdale Fashion Square loves dad jokes. You remember she actually told me that. Like we were talking about dad jokes. We were walking through Fashion Square.
Completely
And we were
straight face, wouldn't laugh at anything. Got super
I was like,
offended.
everyone loves dad jokes, right? She goes, no.
Yeah, she made me. I laughed at her. I have to admit.
Excuse me. Sorry, Becky. Moving on. All right. So headlines with dad jokes. Headline number one: the Tennessee Titans. This is a big surprise. They fired head coach Mike Vrabel. Vrabel finished his coaching time in Tennessee with a record of 54 wins, 45 losses, and one tie. He's regarded as one of the hottest, most coveted head coaches right now on the market for teams that are looking for a head coach, including possibly up in New England, maybe. We still don't know what's going to go on with Belichick, but
right.
We'll talk about that in a second. So Vrabel goes. Also, Derrick Henry, their stud running back, starting to talk like he's not going to be in. He's not going to be there anymore either. So the way he was talking to fans at the end of the game, rumors said the way he was talking to fans at the end of the game, that he's probably not going to be in Tennessee either. So they're going to lose their head coach. They're going to lose their horse at running back. And I would love to see both of them up in New England if possible. That'd be great because Zeke for New England, Ezekiel Elliott, he's a free agent again. So he went to New England on a 1-year deal to try and prove that he can still do stuff. He can still do stuff. Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to re-sign him or not, but he's a free agent. So moving up. If you see a crime at the Apple store, does that make you an eyewitness? Eyewitness. The answer is yes, you're an eyewitness. God, it's stupid. Anyway, horrible dad jokes. These aren't horrible. These are just dad jokes. Usually we do horrible dad jokes. So these are like slightly horrible dad jokes. All right. TJ Watt former Defensive Player of the Year, has been officially ruled out for the Steelers this weekend against
Bode
the
well for their
Buffalo
first game.
Bills. Oh, that is huge. I was
That's
looking
the
forward to it.
game changer huge this late in the game, especially going
Well,
after such a tough opponent.
oh, God. Man, just to see
Bad
I
for the
just want to see them
Steelers
lose.
fans.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, they still
Sorry,
got a
guys.
decent defense. They can still win. They can still win. So we'll see what happens. We'll talk about them in a minute. When spring comes, I always get so excited that I wet my plants. I wet my plants.
My plants. I like it.
Headline number 3, Toronto Raptors head coach Darko Rajokovic went off on the refs last night after the Lakers had a 36-13 free throw advantage in the fourth quarter. 23 free throws in the final quarter. LA ended up beating Toronto by 1 point. He went off. It was so impressive. I posted it on the S3 Facebook page. Go watch it. He held nothing back. It's going to cost him a ton of money. But is he right?
Probably. He could be. I mean, you don't know. It could be the Raptors play. I didn't see the game, so could be the Raptors players who are legitimately just fouling every second. And
right, but just to give you an idea,
but the Lakers are fouling.
They had 23 free throws in 1 quarter.
Yeah, that took like an hour to play a quarter.
The rest of I went through the rest of the games yesterday, and the rest of the games, no team their entire game had more than 27 free throws. And that was Dallas in a loss. The Lakers got 23 in a quarter.
Right. Yeah.
In a quarter.
I mean, his anger is justified.
Oh, definitely. Scotty Barnes, the star player on Toronto, had 2 free throws. 2 the entire game. And they both came in the fourth quarter. And he was driving to the rim all game. They called 1 foul on his drives to the rim.
On paper, that sounds pretty sus. I would want to watch the game. I would want to see if I could see, because fouls get thrown all the time, but were they overcalling on the one team, or were the Raptors just out of control? That would be my my biggest question.
There was a time when they were playing catch up.
Yeah.
But like that happens in every game where teams foul at the end. So like they finished with almost 10 more free throw shots than any other team in any other game yesterday.
Yeah.
You gotta think that's a little bit of star power with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Maybe. Just a little bit. And it was in LA.
Yeah.
That's
sus.
Lady M, how do you identify a dogwood tree?
I don't know how.
From its bark.
I used to have some of those in my yard when I lived in Kansas City as a kid. They are like the official state tree of Missouri.
I didn't even know that was a real tree.
It's a real tree.
The only time I heard the term dogwood is in golf, when the course will go either dogwood left or dogwood right.
Huh.
That's it. Yeah, that's when the course curves, and they call it a dogwood left or a dogwood right. That's the only time I have ever heard the term dogwood.
I think it's the state tree of Missouri, because I feel like we bragged about that in elementary school. Yeah, our kids always think the coolest things are the coolest things, or the stupidest things are the coolest things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I have a dogwood tree in my front yard. Yeah, something like that.
We have a cactus. Moving on. Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant, who just came back from suspension like 2 weeks ago, he's out for the rest of the season after announcement that he needs season-ending shoulder surgery.
Yikes.
That is tough. They were playing really well. Really well. They actually played without him yesterday and beat the Mavericks. So, but then again, they lost Marcus Smart for a little bit of time because he got a dislocated finger on a 3-point shot.
Yeah.
because of the foul.
They might be
Dislocated
able
his
to pull
finger.
some stuff off depending on who they're playing, but they're going to have a lot harder time of it.
All I know is they played terrible with.
Oh, you got muted. Technical difficulties. Bear with us, folks. There we
Terrible.
go.
I touched the bottom of the mic. It's my fault. I touched the equipment. It's like every other woman but you in my life. Anytime I touch them, they just get turned off. That's just how it is.
I'm the opposite. It keeps me at a stick's length. Keep under control. No,
Well, thank you, babe. Thank you.
No cuddling or hand holding for you, young lady. Get over there.
Corner, you now. All right. All right. What is an astronaut's favorite part of the computer?
With spacebar?
The space bar.
The space bar. That's the second one I got.
All right. Calm down. What's next?
First quarter NFL Super Wild Card Weekend.
All right, so let's kick it off on Saturday. So there's a couple games on Saturday, there's 3 games on Sunday, and there is 1 Monday night game. So let's start with the Saturday game.
All right.
All right. So
are we making our picks as we go, or are we going to go over the games?
We're going to make our picks as we go through each game. We go through each game. All right. So the first game, the 2:30 game on Saturday, the Cleveland Browns at 11-6 at the Houston Texans, the team that went into a game last week thinking that, oh God, if they don't win, they're out of the playoffs. Not only did they win and they're in the playoffs, but thanks to Mike Vrabel's Tennessee Titans, the coach that got fired, by the way, thanks to them winning against Jacksonville, they kicked Jacksonville out of the playoffs.
Yeah, they did.
Doing that means that you're fired, apparently. So anyway, so the Browns 11-6 at the Texans 10-7. The line in this is 2.5 in favor of Cleveland.
Really?
So the old man leading Cleveland to the playoffs, Joe Flacco, going up against the young man, CJ Stroud. Who are you thinking in this game? It's in Houston.
So I am going to go with the Texans, actually. I feel like they're kind of on fire, and they're going to be like extra. They're going to be so excited to be there. Their rookie quarterback. I think it's going to make a difference.
But are they going to be excited just to be there? And
no, they're gonna go for it. But every team that's gotten this far is going to go for it. That's not, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think they have what it takes to get past that Cleveland defense.
Maybe.
I think CJ Stroud's in for a rough day.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game to watch, I think.
All right, so you got Houston.
I'm going to take the Texans.
I am taking the Browns.
All right.
Joe Flacco. Footsteps Flacco. All right.
Written down. All right.
The late game. This is the game I can't wait to see because this is the game that's going to eliminate the Miami Dolphins. All right. So the Miami Dolphins, 11-6 at the Kansas City Chiefs, 11-6. Freezing cold temperatures, sub 20-degree weather expected before you count the wind chill. Before. Right. So this isn't
wind chill's the worst.
This isn't hanging out at South Beach.
No. The Dolphins historically don't do well when you stick them in freezing weather. So.
All right. So the line is Kansas City -4. Dolphins are very banged up defensively. Waddle's participation is in question for the Dolphins.
Rough.
Who do you got?
I would pick the Chiefs just under normal circumstances. The only way that I believe that they couldn't win is if they had one of those really, really bad games where Mahomes throws a lot of interceptions and they're just not connecting. But I think they're going to be able to get their heads on straight, given that it's a playoff game. And the Dolphins just haven't done well against the good teams.
You're absolutely right. They only have one win against teams with a winning record this season.
Yeah.
This season. Right? I think that one win was luck. And I'm not buying it. I wish I wish we had the rights, the video rights and the music rights to Vince McMahon's walk-on theme that comes out and says, "No chance, that's what you got." Yeah. So like I just want to play that, and that would be the end of that.
There's so many things stacked against them for that game. It would be
It's an
a
evening
football
game.
miracle for them to pull anything off there.
It's an evening game
Eh.
in freezing temperatures.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No. The Miami Dolphins are done. They went from, hey, we might have a chance to win the AFC East this week to we are bounced in the first round. No way in hell they're going into Kansas City and beating the Kansas City Chiefs in the first round of the playoff. No way. None.
Especially not in their home field. Their home field advantage is something else.
It's crazy. It's loud. It's insanely loud.
But it works for the team. Like they play different. They're like on a different level when they're on their home turf.
I agree completely. All right, next game. So you see, we're both on the Chiefs on that one, right?
I would put you down for Chiefs.
All right, we're on the Chiefs.
Quite a long time ago, I just figured that one.
The Sunday game, the 11 a.m. game, as we're waking up out here. Steelers 10-7 without TJ Watt going into Buffalo. Weather doesn't play that big of a deal in this one, even though it's going to be like 22 degrees, probably 25 mile per hour winds.
Cold teams that are used to it.
They're both cold weather teams.
Yeah.
Dealing with the wind, though, 25 mile per hour winds expected. How is that?
It's going to be rough for kickers. We'll see.
Not only that, but it's going to be rough for the passing game. It's going to be really rough for the passing game.
Yeah.
Like Josh Allen's going to try and throw a deep ball. It's going to end up 6 rows in the stands to the side. It's going to be crazy. I showed you that video at the Pittsburgh game with the winds, what it was doing with free throw. It's going to be like that in Buffalo. I guarantee it. All right. Probably. So with that being said, who do you got?
I'm going to go Bills. I still think they're the better team. I think they're going to be able to do more to come up with it. And the Steelers lost one of their most powerful weapons. So,
you know, if you're going to put money on this game, bet with your head and not with your heart. I'm not putting money on this game, so I'm picking Pittsburgh. I'm picking Pittsburgh. All right. Let's go Steelers. What? Terrible towel. I'll have to create a towel. I'll have to pee on a towel and wave it around just to make it yellow. No water for me for the next day, just so I can do that. All right. That's just hashtag sexy talk. All right. Moving on. The 2:30 game. The Packers. The Packers are in the playoffs. The Packers
that surprised me. I didn't think they could pull it off, but there they are.
They caught fire and started playing extremely well when they needed to, and they won the game that they had to win, unlike Jacksonville.
Skin of their teeth.
And they are 9-8. Yeah. They are going into Jerry World. I would love to see it, but I think, I think this is the end of love. I think this is the end of love. I'm out of love with love. The line in this game is Dallas big favorites -7.5.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would be excited to see the Packers, and then you'd see Stephen A. Smith and all of his Packers gear on First Take the next day. Once the Cowboys get eliminated, just all we got to do is just the most entertaining person in the world. Once the Cowboys gets eliminated, will be Stephen A. Smith. Will be Stephen A. Smith.
His hate knows no bounds. He's not at all shy about sharing.
He's a Steelers fan too. He's a Steelers fan too, I believe. So with that being said, who do you got in this game?
I am still going to go with the Cowboys. The one thing that I would say against that is this is exactly the kind of game that they're known to blow. But I think chances are higher that they're going to stampede over the Packers.
I can imagine ways in my head that the Packers actually have a shot. And at the same time, I can also imagine Dak Prescott with 360 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, plays an absolute perfect game.
Yeah.
And they defeat the Packers.
He's capable of it. They got to come out swinging. That's all.
I'm going to take Dallas in this one, but let me go on record to say, like, I'm extremely hesitant on that move. Extremely hesitant on that move, but I'm going to make it. I'm going to say Dallas because they're at home. If this was up in the frozen tundra up in Green Bay, I'd probably pick the Packers in this game, but I'm going to take Dallas right now in perfect conditions down in Dallas. All right, the late night game, the Sunday night game, the 6 p.m. game. This is the game to watch for tomorrow's schedule or for Saturday's schedule. 6 p.m. Rams 10-7 at the Lions 12-5. First playoff game in the Motor City in almost 30 years. The fans are going to be freaking electric.
Yeah, it's going to be intense.
Absolutely electric.
Riots downtown.
Not to mention this. Matthew Stafford, quarterback for the Rams, going up against his old team. Jared Goff, quarterback for Detroit, going up against his old team. This was the trade.
Yeah.
They traded these quarterbacks to each other.
They both used them better.
One of them,
one of them's
going to regret that move by the end of the night. That's the guarantee that I have. One of them's going to be like, man, we should not have traded him to them because we just got eliminated by him, the guy we traded. One of them is going to say that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Who do you got in this game?
Oh, definitely the Lions. First time they've had a playoff game in City in 30 years. I mean, the Rams won the big game a couple of years ago. So I'm not saying they don't want it. I'm just saying I think the level of like rabid want that the Lions are going to have come in is going to make it really hard to stop them.
I'm taking the Rams.
Taking the Rams.
I am taking the Rams. I'm taking the Rams all day. I'm taking Cooper Kupp. I'm taking Stafford. I'm taking Puka, Nakua. I'm taking all of them. I'm taking the Rams to upset your Detroit Lions, your lovable Detroit Lions. And to clarify, once again, you're a Patriots fan, but you love cheering for.
I get it. I'm crazy about the underdog. They've been my underdog team for like a decade, but now they're just not an underdog this year. I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would.
Well, they're playing well. Everybody's enjoying it a lot more than they thought they would.
Yeah, they look really good.
To the final game on Super Wild Card Weekend. It is a Monday night game, 6:15 p.m. The Eagles, who started out the season 10-1,
right,
are now 11-6 at Tampa Bay, going up against the worst rushing defense, the worst rushing offense in the NFL. The line is only 3 in this because even the odds makers have zero faith in the Eagles. I mean, they do have some faith because they favored them. The line's -3 in favor of the Eagles, but it's only 3.
Yeah.
Who you got in this game?
I'm legitimately surprised the Bucs made the playoffs. I didn't think they were playing that great this season. I'm not sure if it's like who they were playing wasn't it's challenging. I'm gonna go Eagles.
Well, like somebody in that terrible division had to come in first. If you win the division, you're in playoffs, and you were competing against the worst team in football, the Carolina Panthers. You were competing against the other 2 teams who were actually a little bit competitive, but still finished with a crappy record, and that's the Falcons and the Saints.
Right.
So, I mean, somebody had to win that division.
I don't think the Bucs are good enough to go up against the Eagles, even if the Eagles have a bad game, is what I guess I'm saying, which is why I feel like I'm still defaulting to the Eagles side. And it depends. I'm going to go Eagles. Like, they really dropped the ball. They got to get their shit together.
I'm going to go Eagles, but you're absolutely right. I've seen nothing in the last 5 or 6 weeks that says this team is ready to win this year.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Not to mention the fact you got injuries. A.J. Brown is not 100%. Your number 1 wide receiver Smith says he's playing this week, and that is still up in the air, but he says he's playing. So your top 2 wide receivers have health issues. So, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I'm on the Eagles just because that makes more sense than going with Baker Mayfield and the worst rushing attack in the NFL. So that's that. What's next?
Second quarter, Wednesday NBA schedule. Did you pick the Eagles, by the way?
Yeah, I did. I picked the Eagles. Even though I called them every bad name in the book, or at least I was thinking about calling them every bad name in the book. Like I just can't. If they lose this game, like they'll be the laughing stocks of the NFL. That's just it's unbelievable. All right. So the Wednesday NBA schedule, there are 10 games on the schedule starting out with a great matchup straight up 5 o'clock. The Timberwolves are 26-10 at our Boston Celtics league leading 28-8. Celtics are 17-0 at home this season. Unbelievable. They haven't lost a game yet this season at home. Just immaculate. Awesome. However, their first loss of the season came to the Minnesota Timberwolves, the team that they're playing tonight. So let's see what happens with that. Next up, the Kings at 22-14 at the Hornets, 8-26. Charlotte has lost 5 home games, defeated Sacramento the first time they played, 111-104. So you're saying there's a chance? Yeah, I mean, okay. Next game, Spurs 5-30, 5 wins, 30 losses at the Pistons. Even worse, 3 wins, 34 losses. Welcome to the shit show. San Antonio has lost their last 5 games. What are tickets to this game like back to being like 50 cents from like 1940 something? Like that, sometimes I wouldn't pay any more than that to see this game.
When you get 2 really bad teams together, it ends up being a good game because they're playing at the same level. So then it almost looks like a normal game for the sport.
If I was only going to like one game a year, this would not be it. If I was only going to one game a year, this would not be it. Period. Even if it was the only game, I'm like, I guess I'll wait to see what the schedule is next year. I'll waste my money in this game. Next up, the Wizards, another crap team, 6-30 at the Pacers, 21-15. Wizards are actually on a 3-game losing streak. They did beat the Pacers last time they played, 137-123. Here's the big deal with this game. Stud player for the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton, is out with a hamstring injury. So, yes, I'm actually saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to pick them. I don't know. 5:30 p.m. The 76ers, 23-12 at the Hawks, 14-21. The Hawks are 9-17 against the Eastern Conference opponents this season. Yeah. Doesn't say much. The Atlanta Hawks are a disappointment. With the offensive firepower that they have, like that's all they relied on. That's all they rely on, because apparently they don't play any defense. They just want to come down and chuck up a 3 every time, and let's see what happens. They are now what the Suns were like 5 years ago, where they just keep launching 3s and play no defense.
Right.
Yep, that's how it works out. Next up, the Thunder, 24-11 at the Heat, 21-15. This could be the game of the night. The Miami Heat have won 3 straight home games. Interesting matchup there.
All right.
The 6 o'clock game, the Rockets, red glare, 18-17 at the Chicago Bulls, 17-21. Rockets are 3-11 on the road. The Bulls are 12-9 at home. You would think that means the home team, right?
You would think.
Maybe. So keep an eye on that one. Pelicans, 22-15 at the Warriors, 17-19. The Pelicans are looking for their 7th straight road win. 7th straight road win. Next up, 8 p.m. slate. Right around the time we start thinking about going to bed. Nuggets 26-12 at the Jazz. That game is on ESPN. That's why I wrote ABC in the last game. That game's being shown on the Pelicans game is at the Warriors. I'm like, why did I put ABC before that? I wrote this stuff and I don't even know what the hell I'm reading. All right. So the Pelicans Warriors are on ABC. The ESPN game at 8 o'clock is the Nuggets at the Jazz. Nuggets 26-12. Jazz 18-20. Jazz looking for their 6th straight home win. Could be an upset there. Next up, the late game. The Raptors and their coach that hates the refs. 15-22 at the Clippers. 23-13 Clippers looking for their 5th straight win. Raptors coming off that 1-point loss last night, also in LA. Here's the thing about why a lot of people are afraid about picking a team after a back-to-back, and that's usually because they have to travel.
Yeah.
Right? It makes them tired. Yeah. They didn't have to travel. They slept in the same beds. They're playing in the exact same arena.
Right.
I don't think they're going to have a letdown tonight because, I mean, they didn't have to travel. It's just a regular day for them. So, I mean, the Raptors, the line is -10 in this. And, yeah, stay tuned for my best bet. See who I take. All right. So, with that being said, I have to make an announcement. Last week, I created a game. I created the game. I made up the rules. I created the game. I saw the schedule. I had a pretty damn good idea who I was going to pick because I created the game. And then Lady M turned around and whooped my ass at the game that I created. She not only beat me, she went a perfect 4 for 4, including nailing both of her underdog picks. One more time. I created the game. We need to get a championship belt.
Yeah.
Like for real. We need to get a championship. We'll call it the S3 championship belt. And then whoever wins our contest on the previous show gets to wear that on their shoulders for the next show. Like, because you earned that one. Like, if I had a belt, I would give it to you myself. Like, we need a belt. Let's start shopping for a belt. Costs like $100. Okay. So here's the deal. In the game that I created, it's called the 10-point play. Defending champion again, Ms. Lady M. Perfect 10 points to my 6 points last week. We're not adding these up over the weeks. We're just taking the wins as they come. You have to pick 4 games. You have a layup, a free throw, a three-pointer, and a half-court shot. The layup is your guarantee. I'll call it on the side. It's basically the Charles Barkley and his guarantee. Right? That's our guarantee that we're saying no matter what, this team's going to win. That's worth 2 points. We're picking a free throw worth 1 point. It's any game you want. Yeah. Any game you want. If you want to take a risk, it's only 1 point. If you lose, you only lose 1 point. Right? So if you're looking at taking a risk on a team, but you're not sure, that's a great free throw. That's 1 point. Then you got the three-pointer worth, get this, 3 points. This is any underdog. Any underdog. They could be, and when I mean underdog, they can be like 1 game under or 1 win less than the other team, 2 wins less than the other team, 5 wins less than the other, 10 teams, whatever. As long as they're an underdog, you can pick them. Then you have the half-court shot. This is any underdog with less than 16 wins. But I'm just going to make a rule right now. Nobody can pick that crappy 5-win versus 3-win game.
Okay.
Nobody. Like you know what?
For anything?
It's out there. It's out there. Yeah, you can pick it for anything that you want. Anything that you want. It's out there. Those are the rules. Lucky for me, because I lost at the game I created.
You get to go
last
first.
week. I get to go first. So my guarantee My guarantee for tonight is going to be I'm going to take the Nuggets over the Jazz. I'm taking the Nugs.
All right. Nuggets over the Jazz. I'm going to take the Kings over the Hornets.
I was looking at that one. All right. Now, any game that we want to take a pick, I'm going to take the 76ers over the Hawks. 76ers over the Hawks.
Okay. I'll take the Pacers over the Wizards.
Taking the Pacers over the Wizards. Damn you for taking that game off the board. Dude, I was totally going to take the Wizards in consecutive tries. They didn't do it for me last time, but I was totally going to pick them this week. All right, this is any underdog. This is the 3-point play. Underdog. I'm going to take the Warriors at home. Underdogs against the Pelicans. I'm going to take the Warriors. Who do you got for your 3-point play?
You know what? I'll take the Heat over the Thunder.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it because they're at home?
Yes.
That's pretty good. All right. Now's the 4-point play. I need to pick one so that you can't pick it. I need to pick one that I think is actually going to happen. Okay. Underdog 15 wins or less.
15 wins.
That leaves the Raptors. That leaves I already did the 76ers Hawks game. You already took the Wizards Pacers off the board. You already took the Kings. Wow. Is there only one game left?
Yeah,
well, there's 2 games. There's 2 games. Yeah, Spurs, Pistons, and then the Raptors. You know, I'm going to take the Raptors.
Right.
I'm going to make you choose. I'm going to make you choose from that dung pile of a game.
I'm going to say Pistons. Let's see if they can.
You're going to take the Pistons.
They're both so terrible. It's really kind of like flip a coin anyways, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Take the home team.
If the Pistons have a chance to beat somebody, this is a good setup for them. So
this is that's absolutely accurate. All right, so go through them again. Who do we got?
Oh, I got to pull it back up. I already closed it and moved on. Let's see. All right, so for the layup, you took the Nuggets. I took the Kings. For the free throw, you took the 76ers and I took the Pacers.
Okay.
The 3-pointer was you took Warriors. I took the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
And half court, you've got the Raptors and I've got the Pistons.
All right. Sounds good. DraftKings DFS build for tonight. The over-under was pretty high in that Pacers-Wizards game, so I stacked the deck with Pacers and Wizards on DraftKings. Point guard, I got McConnell for Indiana at 6,700. Shooting guard, I got Mathurin. I don't know why it corrected to Botherin. Is that even a word? It auto-corrected. Stupid. For Indiana, 6,400. Thank God I actually know these players. Healed for Indiana at 5,700 as my small forward. The power forward, Kyle Kuzma for Washington at 7,800. Center, I got Miles Turner for Indiana at 6,800. At guard, I've got Brown for Indiana at 5,600. Forward, I've got Dort for OKC at 5,200. And then I added one more Washington player at utility. I've got Gofford for Washington at 5,800. McConnell, Mathurin with an M, not a B. I have no idea what the hell he gave me on that one. Buddy Hield, Kyle Kuzma, Miles Turner, Brown, Dort, and Gafford. That's my lineup. Best bets that I got for tonight. I've got 2. Count them. Uno, dos. First one. I'm taking the Raptors plus 10. Raptors plus 10. If they don't win.
They are going to be feeling vindictful about yesterday for sure.
They only lost. Now, even with them yelling about it, they only lost the game to the Lakers yesterday by 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting 10 tonight.
Yeah.
Even though it's against a far better team. It's the better LA team. Yeah. I'm taking that 10. Also, Jason Tatum over 37.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. Add up the points, add up the rebounds, add up the assists, make it over 38, and that would be a great bet for tonight. Yeah. Those are the only two I got. Raptors plus 10, Tatum over 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists. What's next?
Third quarter, college quarter, top 25 games tonight.
All right. Last night, both Purdue and Houston were upset. Number 1 and number 2 upset last night. So anything can happen in the top 25 tonight. I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a lot. We've got like 10 games on the schedule, all top 25, starting with number 3 Kansas at 13-1 at University of Central Florida at 9-4. Kansas Hunter Dickinson put up 30 points in a 2-point win against TCU. Last game, line in this game is Jayhawks -7. Jayhawks expected to improve to 14-1. I would just take the Jayhawks straight up. I don't trust that 7 line against UCF. Number 5, Tennessee at 11-3 at Mississippi State. MISSISSIPPI State, 11-3. 2 top 10 defenses in play tonight. The line is Tennessee -2. The over-under is what I'm looking at because, again, the defenses are awesome. I would take the under 138.5 for that total. Next up, number 21, Clemson, 11-3 at Virginia Tech, 9-5. Clemson's coming off a 10-point loss to North Carolina. Both teams are on a 2-game losing streak. Line in this one is Clemson -1.5. I'm kind of leaning Virginia Tech this way, but I'm not smart enough to take that bet. I'm leaving that one on the floor. The 6 p.m. start tonight. Number 7, there's North Carolina at 11-3 at in-state rival North Carolina State, also at 11-3. North Carolina State is 8-0 on their home court this season. The line in this one is UNC at just -3.5. I'll take North Carolina -4, but it would not surprise me if North Carolina State wins this one outright. But I'm taking North Carolina to win this game. UTSA, the Roadrunners, at 7-8 at 13. Memphis, who is 13-2. Memphis is a perfect 7-0 at home. UTSA coming off an overtime victory against Rice, who is nowhere near as good as Memphis. Memphis big favorites in this one by 20, -19.5. I don't like those high numbers though.
Yeah,
don't like them at all.
That is high.
Yeah. Oh, they get higher, but I just don't like them because you never know, they might take the final quarter off.
Yeah.
So, all right, 6:30 p.m. Number 4, one of my favorite college teams in the New England area, UConn, 13-2 at Xavier. Xavier is actually 6-3 at home. Line in this one is -4.5 in favor of UConn. I think UConn is not going to have a problem with this one going into Xavier. I would take them minus the points. I think they'll win by at least 5. Wisconsin, 15th ranked Wisconsin, 11-3 at Ohio State, 12-3. Buckeyes are 8-1 on their home court and 3-0 in Big Ten play so far this season, favored by 1.5 points. I think Ohio State can pull off this victory. I would take them either straight up or -2. Go ahead and do it. All right. Next up, number 9, Oklahoma, 13-1 at TCU, 11-3. TCU is favored in this game at -4.5. TCU's been playing ranked teams extremely tough. I don't know if Oklahoma's got what it takes. Maybe if I bet this game, maybe I would take Oklahoma plus 4.5, but I can definitely see TCU winning this game outright on the money line. Butler, 10-5 at number 11, Marquette, 11-4. Line is Marquette -11.5. Marquette should not have any problems whatsoever. Butler has lost 3 straight heading in. Marquette dropped their last game at Seton Hall. They have won, I believe 3 of the last 5 home games. Oh, no, they have won their last 5 home games. Only loss at home came to number 2 now, Purdue.
All right.
What's next?
Fourth quarter, wild pitch, spring training notes. Who plays where?
All right, so this is going to ramp up our MLB talk heading into the season. Spring training is only about a month away.
Yep.
Pitchers and catchers should start reporting right around the middle of February. So yeah, we're a little over a month away from that. We are right up the street from Salt River Fields, which is a great place to be during spring training. So if you're curious and you want to know who plays where, here we go. In the Cactus League at American Family Fields, formerly Maryvale Baseball Park, is home to the Milwaukee Brewers. So Brew Crew, go over to American Family Fields, formerly known again as Maryvale Ballpark. Camelback Ranch hosts the Dodgers and the White Sox. Goodyear Ballpark is where you can catch the Reds and the Guardians playing. Hohokam Stadium is where the A's will be playing. Peoria Sports Complex is for the Padres and the Mariners. Salt River Fields right down the road from us, Diamondbacks and the Rockies. Scottsdale Stadium right in the heart of Old Town is where the San Francisco Giants play. Sloan Park out in Mesa, you can catch the Chicago Cubs there. Surprise Stadium, we're not driving to Surprise to go see a game. We're definitely not going. I don't care that the Texas Rangers are the reigning defending champions. We're not going all the way out to Surprise. It's like an hour drive from us when we got baseball.
I don't
right
like
down the
Surprise.
Street.
You'd have to get me there kicking and screaming the whole way.
Yeah. And then at Tempe Diablo Stadium, of course, as always, hosts the Los Angeles Angels in Florida, also known as the Florida Grapefruit League. You have the Atlanta Braves who play at Northport or in Northport at Cool Today Park. Okay. Baltimore Orioles play in Sarasota at Ed Smith Stadium. The Boston Red Sox are over in Fort Myers at JetBlue Park. The Detroit Tigers play over in Lakeland at Publix with an X Field at Joker Marchant Stadium. Publix Field at Joker Marchant Stadium. How many more sponsors can you get in the name? Just curious. Houston Astros play over West Palm Beach at Ballpark of the Palm Beaches. Wow, really? That's original. Miami Marlins. The Miami Marlins play over in Tiger Woods neighborhood in Jupiter at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. The Minnesota Twins, also at Fort Myers, but they are at Hammond Stadium at Lee County Sports Complex. The New York Mets in Port St. Lucie, which is right next to Port St. Ricky, I believe, at Clover Park. New York Yankees, nobody cares where they play. Moving on. No, they are over in Tampa at the George M. Steinbrenner Field. Philadelphia Phillies, they play in Clearwater at Baycare Ballpark. The Pittsburgh Pirates and our buddy Kanan Smith and Jigba will be in Bradenton at Lecom Park, Lecom, all in caps. So I'm assuming that's a company that sponsored the field.
Right.
The St. Louis Cardinals, also over there next to Tiger Woods in Jupiter at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Tampa Bay Rays in Port Charlotte at Charlotte Sports Park. Toronto Blue Jays play in Dunedin at TD Ballpark. And then the Washington Nationals play in West Palm Beach at, again, Ballpark of the Palm Beaches. I'd rather go to Jupiter so I can check out Tiger Woods' house. I'm not saying I'm a stalker, but I know exactly where his house is or what it looks like. All right.
Like
at one point in my career,
where you drive by all the mansions.
At one point in my career, I might have been a low-level stalker, and I saw Tiger Woods taking a picture in front of his house. So what I did is I remembered what it looked like. I went on Google Earth. I knew it was in Jupiter, and like a stalker does, I started combing the streets of Jupiter. And guess what? He's got a par 3 in his backyard. Not too hard to spot. And it's right on the water. It is.
Yeah.
He's got a little boatsy there too. Beautiful house, by the way, Tiger. Love it. You got to change your furniture around a little bit, though. All right, moving on. What's next?
Overtime. What did we miss?
All right, so what did we miss? Well, we'll have another new segment moving forward for our NASCAR coverage called Look at Those Pits. NASCAR has a new series coming to Netflix on January 30th called NASCAR Full Speed. We'll definitely want to check this out.
Fun.
The 45-minute episode, the 5-episode, 45-minute shows follow 16 playoff drivers from last season as they all fight for the NASCAR Cup Series championship, both on and off the track. The show covers exclusive access to the drivers and teams. That should be actually pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
So this week, you'll actually see a few of NASCAR drivers from all levels competing at the Chili Bowl, which is currently going on right now. It is in Tulsa. It's a 1-week indoor clay track series of races in midget cars. NASCAR drivers competing this week include Chase Briscoe, Jesse Love, JJ Yeley, and Josh Bilicki. With that being said, the betting odds have opened for who will win the 2024 Daytona 500, led by series champion Ryan Blaney at 9-1, followed by four other drivers at 11-1: Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, Chase Elliott, and Brad Keselowski. Our favorite drivers, my favorite driver, Kyle Busch. Hey, Kyle. Kyle Busch at 14-1. He is in seventh, the seventh best odds. And your guy, Alex Bowman, from right here in Arizona, Tucson, I believe. He is at 30-1 odds, 14th best odds. So, I mean, put a few bucks down on the Bowman.
He really is always just kind of in the middle of the pack there somewhere. So that's about right.
Yeah.
14. Yeah.
Well, all right. Make sure you check out any and all of our past episodes for the S3 podcast. You can catch them on CoachJeffDemers.com on our sports page. You can also listen on HeroesMediaGroup.com and on Spotify. Make sure you check those out. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for today. Keep on loving sports, and we will see